Internet addiction disorder, pathological smartphone addiction, obsessive screen addiction. Addiction, addiction, addiction. What is this word addiction? Do we even understand what it means? But I'll get to that later. Do we even understand what tech means? Tech by nature, to me, means three things. Number one, upgradation, which means old tech becoming obsolete every single second of our lives. Number two, paradigm shifts in the nature and usability of tech. And number three, a very up and coming term now, which is wearable tech. So now, in these three frontiers of technology, these three pillars of technology, comes the fundamental question for me. I'm a 21st century student. I am in an international school with an international board. I'm grappling with studies. I'm grappling with numbers. I'm grappling with data. I'm grappling with new words, new phrases. And so I'm forced to grapple with tech. Maybe to upgrade myself, or maybe to sometimes waste my time. And in this tech dependency, I encounter an incident. In this tech dependency, my mother walks up to me and asks, "Are you addicted to tech? Are you really addicted to tech?" And that phrase, addicted to tech, hits me. Because I knew that my dependency in tech was incrementally increasing every day of my life, whether I liked it or I did not. Every song I heard on Spotify, every show I watched on Netflix, every game I played on Fortnite, I was becoming more and more integrated with tech, more and more intertwined with tech. And so, that word, addiction, it hit me. Was I an addict? I thought you could only be addicted to drugs, to marijuana, to alcohol. Was I an addict? And so, I wanted to know, where did we get this term? What is internet addiction? I looked it up on Google, of course, and about 25 years ago, believe it or not, it started off as a joke. Internet addiction was just a joke. Dr. Ivan Goldberg was trying to make fun of the entire psychiatric community because they were over-diagnosing our lives. They were over-critically analyzing our lives, and he was trying to make fun of them. He was mocking them. And so he created this word, internet addiction. And in doing so, he had inadvertently opened up entire Pandora's box of trivializing addiction, of over-casualizing addiction. Because suddenly, you were not just addicted to drugs and marijuana. You could be addicted to books, to studying, to reading. You could be addicted to anything that took too much time of your life. And honestly, I didn't know if I was an addict. I was confused. Every passing day, I was swimming in this pool of confusion. I didn't know how to get out of it. I wanted to know tech deeper and deeper and answer every question with tech. So much so that if someone came up to me and asked me just three simple things, I would immediately Google it. I would never even consider reading about it. I used to enter a library full of books with a laptop and a headphones and exit just the same without a single book read. That was addiction. Or rather, was it addiction to record every single second of my life, every single nanosecond of my life, just so I could advertise my life? As if in my personal loneliness, I found a reality in Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram. Was that addiction? I didn't know. And so, Google became a buzz page. Instagram became a buzzword. Snapchat became a buzz image. And I was getting lost. I didn't know where was the real me. And somewhere, a Kindle never really gave me the smell of paper. You know, when you're closest to someone, and not physically, I mean when you're closest to someone mentally, and you have this connection with them, that is through a book. Could tech be a book? These questions haunted me. My tech dependency increased, and every passing day, I was surrounded by these phrases like, "You don't know this new software. Are you tech challenged? You don't know this new update, this new version, this new fix, this new bug. You don't know anything." And suddenly, I did not. I was lost. I had become unnecessary in an entire world of necessary tech. I was lost. I was huddled up. I was self-isolated. And I had created this bubble around me. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't know what or why and when it was happening. If someone came to my house, sat down in the room and talked to me, I no longer cared. And of course I didn't care. I was stuck in the screen. And that was the reality I had created for myself. My friends barely spoke to me because all my conversations were meaningless and forced. And so, I was wondering, where was the real me? But you know, it is easy to call me addicted. It is difficult to turn your fingers and point at society. At society that gives you tech every single minute. At society that gives you tech part compulsion, part capitalism, part training, part school, part education, part syllabus, all of this, a dangerous cocktail that sucked me in. And it has sucked every one of you all in. And that was the reality that I found. There was a thin line of silence that I had found. A silence between necessary tech and unnecessary tech. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I do know that artificial intelligence is an aggregation of data. Deepfake is an aggregation of image. And that Google is an aggregation of hyperlinks. And I am a congregate. I am a congregate, not an aggregate. I have my moments of disappointment that no tech can catch. I have my moments of serendipity that no tech can explain. I have my moments of joy where tech cannot feel happiness for me. And when I feel anger for what's happening in Ukraine and Palestine, no tech teaches me empathy. And so I asked, what was I addicted to? Why was I addicted to an artificial intelligence that boasted its own artificiality? Why was I addicted? You know what I did? I stopped upgrading myself. I no longer had the latest iPhone. I no longer bought the latest software just so I could have that one extra feature. I no longer learned about all the GPTs just so my workload could decrease. I stopped upgrading myself. And that is when I became just a little bit more unnecessary. Because in this necessary tech, in this tech-driven world, where comfort has become the priority, I had become a little unnecessary. Because I took that much longer with my assignments, I took that much longer with my essays, because I was actually ideating and not typing. Am I a real breathing human being on this microphone? Am I a real breathing human being ideating on an essay? Or am I a tech creation spewing out this chat GPT like amalgamation of sophisticatedly exaggerated words with no contextual interlinks and genuine ideation? I didn't know. What was the real me? Was that the real me? No. I had found myself. I had found that unnecessary part of myself in this necessary tech. And that was the line of silence I wanted to break. Because 20 years down the line, when I wanted to watch the sunset with my children and wanted to hear the birds chirping, I didn't want to do it through a VR goggle and headsets. I wanted to be there in person, in reality. And that was the reality I wanted to find. Because, ladies and gentlemen, all necessaries in this world are not necessities. Thank you.